Welcome to Meet Your Mobile Mechanic. Today we're working on 2008 Chrysler Town & Country. We are doing a throttle body gasket and also a air manifold intake gasket. And I do apologize, I don't have a mic, so you guys are kind of hear me from far away or unless I get close to the phone. We're working on a 3.8 liter V6 engine. It's a very good engine. I actually love this engine myself. But yeah, this is a personal van, so let's get to it before it gets dark. First thing first, you want to disconnect the positive and the negative battery post using a 10 millimeter. Make sure not to take the nuts completely off. That way you won't lose them or drop them. But they're 10 millimeter nuts. Loosen them up and then remove the cables. Safety first. Always make sure to have your correct PPE. Some gloves, some eyewear. If you're doing something where you know fluid can splash up, make sure you wear some type of protection for your eyes. And have your nice little flashlight. Make sure you got gloves on, okay? But first thing first, undo the positive and the negative terminal on the battery, okay? Then you want to go ahead and remove this hose here. It just pulls off, pulls up. Set that to the side. Then you want to go ahead and remove your map sensor. Just push down on the tab and pull off. Then go ahead and get you a 5/16 and an extension so you can loosen up the clamp on the hose. Loosen up the clamp. Those are 5/16. And then go ahead and take off the breather hose here, like that. Pull up. It may take some force, but go ahead and remove it's a 10 millimeter bolt that goes right here on the power steering fluid reservoir. Pull it up off, and then go ahead and pull your air box up. This is what holds your air filter. Set it to the side. Go ahead and pull off the hose, the air intake manifold hose. Set it to the side. All right, this right here is your throttle body, guys. These are inverted bit screws, right? You need you a E10 size E10 socket. It is a special socket. It's not like a regular socket, as you can see. Go ahead and remove all 4 bolts. There's one here, one there, one down here, and then one over here. It's 4 bolts. Remove those 4 bolts. Also, before I forget, don't forget to remove the wire harness down here. It goes to the wire harness is right here to your throttle body. It's a clamp on this side and it's a clamp on the bottom side. Pinch it with 2 fingers and go ahead and give it a tug. Do not pull by the wires at all. But give it, it's tight here. Give it a nice little tug. Make sure you're pinching it. This thing gets stuck on there. If that doesn't work, get you a little screwdriver. Get you like a little flathead like this. Get right here. Kind of pry it off to help you out a little bit. Be careful not to break the plastic. There we go. See? Wire harness came off. Take off the remainder 2 bolts. Once you take all 4 bolts out, just go ahead and pull the third throttle body off. It comes off. Now, that is the inside of your air intake. This is your air intake manifold. The gasket is right here. Use a little screwdriver or a pick if you have a pick. Use a little pick or a little screwdriver. Be careful not to break the plastic. That's the gasket. Pull the gasket off. Now we just removed the throttle body gasket that we have to replace. Okay? Remember, we're replacing the air manifold gasket too. So we're going to put this throttle body gasket on last. But we're about to remove the the air intake right now to put the gaskets under here. Alright, go ahead and get a 5/16. Remove these 2 bolts right here. I believe this is called a EGR valve or EF, something like that. But go ahead and remove these two bolts. That's 5/16. Go ahead and pull that metal cap back, and this just pops up. You can remove the gasket with it. All right. Now over here, right back here, is a size 13 nut. Remove that size 13 nut so we can then remove this pipe. All right. Once we got that size 13 nut over here removed, sometimes a whole screw come out, not just a nut. Go ahead and remove that gasket there. Go ahead and move the pipe, lift it up, out the way. Go ahead and remove this vacuum hose here, pull that off. And then now we got some pliers to take off this hose here that goes to the PCV valve. All right, now go ahead and take some pliers like this. Remove this clamp here. All right, now right back here, take this hose right here we just removed, kind of twist it and play with it and pull it off, boom. And the PCV valve actually just came out, and we are also replacing that as well. All right, go ahead and pull this clip back, and this red clip right here, pinch it, there, got pull back, give it a nice firm tug. It may come off, it may not. If it don't, remember your handy dandy screwdriver. Just get a little pry like that. See how the wire harness comes off. Now each one of these bolts on this manifold, like right here, right here, right here, is 6 bolts. They're 10mm bolts. All right, go ahead and all 6 bolts with a 10mm. All right, right here on the alternator is a 13mm bolt. It's 2 13mm bolts. Go ahead and knock those off to remove this bracket here. And by the way, you do not need to remove this bracket. I just do it to have better clearance, but you do not need to remove this bracket. And also, it is, I said it's 6 bolts on the air intake manifold. It is 8 bolts, not 6 bolts on this air intake manifold. All right, and just to show you, I did not remove this bracket right here on the alternator, but you can still, you just pick the air intake manifold up, and there you go, you have it. These are the gaskets right here. Get you a little pick like this, and simply pick the gasket out the air intake manifold. All right, so right back here is where your PCV valve goes in. Ours came out when we removed the hose. So if yours is still in there, it has a black gasket around it, similar to like that. You have to pull the black gasket off, then plug out your PCV valve. It's going to be really hard, but you got to pull it out really hard with some pliers or something. But since ours fell out, we're just going to put our new one right into place. All right, we're going to plug our PCV valve right in here. Make sure it pops in place like you've seen that one do. Be careful, this plastic is brittle. Do not crack that plastic, be very careful. All right, now we're gonna take our new air intake manifold gaskets. Make sure, you see this little point here, right there? See that point? Make sure it goes in the groove right there. And that's how you see all 6 gaskets the same way. Give it a firm press in there, make sure it's in there. All right, make sure all 6 of them are in there, like that. Now, for the throttle body gasket. Throttle body gasket is just a ring. Go ahead and give it a firm press and make sure it's in there completely, just like that. Now, the throttle body gasket is in, our PCV valve is in, and our air intake gaskets are in. So we can go ahead and set the air intake down the way it was, like that. Make sure the wire harness is out the way. All right, now put each one of those 8 screws back into the place they go. Hand thread them before you use a power tool. All right, when you tighten the bolts down on the air intake manifold, go crisscross. Do this corner, then that corner, this corner, and then that corner to make sure it is fastened down correctly. All right, now put all the hoses and put everything back the same way you took it off. And then when I get to the throttle body, I'll show you how to do that. All right, guys, when it comes to the throttle body, you want to make sure you have the bolts torqued on to spec. You don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. Also, do the diagonal thing to make sure it's evenly on there. Make sure your wire harness is on there. It's very important to torque these down to specs. You do not want them too tight or too loose. Please torque them to spec. All right, guys, I love you guys. I see you guys later. Have a nice life and put everything back the way it was. Remember.